Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Astroneer and we are here with a very special video because instead of playing video games today, I will be talking about video games. Today marks the 1-year anniversary of my very first video here on my channel. My very first video was my first episode in my Stray playthrough. I've improved a lot since then, I've learned a lot, and I've been able to play a lot of really cool video games. So without further ado, I thought it'd be really fun to do a tier list of all the games I've played on my channel in this last year. So this includes my solo games that I've played, as well as the few games that I've played on my Guestronauts bits with my friends. So yeah, we're just gonna hop right in. I'm just gonna talk through why I am grading each in its different level. Feel free in the comments if you've played these games. Tell me why you voted differently. Tell me why you ranked them differently. I always love how different people love different video games. So I want to hear your opinions on all of these games I'm about to talk about. So we're going to just go down the list. I'm going to start with Stray because that was my first one, and then we'll just move down. So Stray, that was the very first game that I played on my channel. It was about 7 episodes, about 6 hours of gameplay. And I absolutely loved it. I had so much fun. I think that the art design was amazing. I think that the sound, the music was amazing. All of the characters felt unique and gave it life, even though there was no life. It was all just robots. And I think that the story was beautiful and heartbreaking in the end and really made you feel connected to the world. And I'm really glad that I got to start my channel with that. So I am going to go ahead and put Stray as an S tier. And you know what? I'm going to say this right now. I don't care if you think I'm being too nice and I'm not putting any in the D tier. It's my channel, my games. I get to vote how I want. That's why you guys get to come in the comments and tell me why I'm wrong. So if you got anything to say about how nice I'm about to be, leave it below. All right, so next we have Spirit of the North. Spirit of the North was the last game I played, actually, by the time that this video comes out. It was gifted to me by a good friend of mine, Risen. It was a puzzle game where you played as a fox and you were connected to the Spirit of the North, and you and your spirit buddy got to work through all of these different environments and puzzles to unlock the next area, learn about the world, and try to rid your environment of this rot. I think that the art was beautiful. I loved all the designs, all the extra little things you could do. But overall, I found myself more frustrated than anything with the puzzles. I think that having a singular animal and its spirit self as the only real characters, other than the dead shamans, was a little bit of a letdown. I didn't get to be as immersed in the story as I could have been, I think. And I think that there were definitely times when I got really frustrated, especially when I fell into an inescapable room and had to start the level over. So I had a lot of fun, but I don't think I would play this again, and I don't think I would recommend it as highly as other games. So I'm actually going to put Spirit of the North. I'm gonna put it in C tier. I know I said I was about to be nice, but I'm about to be a little mean. Actually, no, I'm putting it in B tier because I just looked at Seasons After Fall. That one's going in C tier. So Seasons After Fall, another game, excuse me, another game where you play as a fox and you have these different spirits that you can embody. This one, I think, was a little bit better in terms of having other characters to play off of. You had the guardians of summer, fall, winter, and spring to work with, as well as the other spirit that was trying to avoid her destiny. She became kind of the 5th spirit. So that was really good. I think that the art was really cute. It was kind of a little bit more cartoony and definitely played in that 2D space. But I think, again, it was very confusing trying to navigate the world. I relied on fan-made maps, and I really don't think that that is a good mechanic where you have to rely on other people's ability to map things out just to get things done. Again, I felt really frustrated at times, so that was not the most amazing. And I put this on my own wish list. I bought it. I was really excited, and I just did not like it that much. And I was kind of glad that it was over. So especially with how much you had to go to one corner and then to the other corner and then down to the other corner and then back up to the one corner. It was a lot of crisscrossing into very confusing areas Things weren't particularly clear. So I am actually going to give this one a C, unfortunately. Again, I don't hate any of the games that I've played, but I like some games better than others. So this next one, we have Nobody Saves the World, which is the game I am currently playing with my friend Hayden. We are only, as of this video posting, you've only seen one episode. We've played 2 episodes worth, but that one's posting on Saturday. But this is a game where you and whoever you're playing with are a wizard, and you can unlock different forms that help you fight bad guys. And I am in love with this game. It is so kooky and crazy and challenging, but in just the right ways to make you think without feeling punitive. It has us laughing all the time. Very goofy art style, very eccentric characters, plays into a lot of kind of medieval, wizardy, Knights of the Round Table tropes without being, mocking of it. It pokes fun without just putting it down. And we have had an absolute blast in the about 4 or 5 hours that we've played so far. Very glad that we switched to this game versus the last game on my list that I will be ranking. And I'm really excited for you guys to see more videos. Again, the next one posts on Saturday, so keep an eye out for that. But so far, I think that Nobody Saves the World is an A tier. I also rank that because I think that there's a lot of different ways to play with the different forms you can have and like crossing the different abilities between forms. You can really create a character that fights the way you like to fight. If you're more ranged, you can have a ranged person. If you're heavy melee, you can be right up there in the battle. It's very versatile, very forgiving, lots of fun. So yeah, that one's going in A tier. This next one is Kina Bridge of Spirits, my current game that I am playing. I am 7. By the time this video comes out, you will have 7 episodes up on YouTube. 7 episodes in, so about 7 hours of content. And I am so excited every time that I hop on my computer to play. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, there are frustrations, but it's a skill issue, not a game issue, which I think is an important distinction to make. Me being bad at combat and dying a lot does not mean this is a bad game. It means I'm not the greatest gamer. But the story is super compelling, just like Stray. It is tugging at my heartstrings like none other. The combat is really good. The puzzles and agility are really good. There's so much to find. There's all sorts of little hidden gems. So there's a little bit of something for everyone, I think. And I just think the story is beautiful. I'm so excited to uncover more every time I play. And even though I'm only 7 episodes in, I'm going to put this bad boy up in the S tier with Stray. These two, I think, are really incredibly well done games. Stray is definitely shorter form. Kina is going to be a longer form video, but that's okay. I think that people like short games and some people like long games, and that's fine. This next game is Grimdon. That is the Gastronauts videos that I do with my sister and her husband. We haven't played in a while because life gets busy, but every time we do play, I feel like we have a lot of fun. It is definitely a bit of a change because it is that like top-down, it's almost Diablo-esque from what I remember Diablo being when I was a teenager. It's kind of that top-down bird's eye view, which I'm not a super big fan of, not being able to like do something different. But I think that the different character like paths you can go down, how you specialize is really cool. It's really fun being able to play with friends. I don't think I'd have as much fun by myself, but being able to play with 2 people, have our little group, be able to, bounce ideas off of each other. I think that this is a game that is perfect for that. And so I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some more episodes in here. I don't want to just leave this on the back burner, but we're all adults. Life gets busy. So hopefully play some more because we've really enjoyed it. I think this one, I did not mean to drop it in C tier. I'm going to give it an A as well. We've had a lot of fun. It's challenging, it's different, but it's just super fun to play. And I do like the story. The story is interesting. There's so much more for us to explore. So yeah, I'm going to give it an A. Next game on our list is Ghost of a Tale. That was the 3rd game I played. It was really the first game that I didn't know a whole lot about. My brother-in-law Tennyson recommended this for me, and I will have absolutely no regrets saying that in the last year it is by far my favorite game. So we're just going to stick it up in the S tier so that there's no suspense, but I'm going to probably talk about this for a while. Ghost of a Tale is by far my favorite game that I have played this past year. It is an amazing story. It has all sorts of little side stories that you can unlock and learn more about the universe. It has a little bit of stealth, which I'm not usually a big fan of stealth, but it wasn't overwhelming. It was a good amount to get you thinking, but it gave you an easy out once you found that knight's armor, where if you were just not good at stealth, you could figure out a way to get where you needed to go, which I think was good. I think that the extras that it had, the roses, the music pieces, the costumes, all of that was amazing exploration. It kept people on their toes, but you didn't necessarily feel like you were missing out if you didn't get those. So again, it wasn't punitive. I think the world is beautiful. I wish there was more of it, which, in case you haven't heard, Ghost of a Tale 2 is in very early development, and I am eagerly awaiting more news because I will be playing that on this channel. I think that the combat, what little combat there was right at the end, was nerve-wracking in the best way. And I think that the relationships the characters made really felt real and felt unique and felt genuine. And again, pulled at my heartstrings and made me want to root for all the people, all the little mice, all the little rats. So yeah, Ghost of a Tale, by far, this first year on YouTube, my favorite game that I've played. If I could, can I move it to the front of the tier? It is getting the top of the tier list. If there was an S+, it'd be getting an S+. Next is Garden Story. This game was gifted to me by my friend Hayden, who again I've been doing Guesternauts episodes with. This one was interesting. I think that the art form was really cute. It was that kind of 8-bit retro. I think the story's very cute in being this newbie guardian trying to protect your home, and there's all these different villages that are kind of based on the seasons. I think that the combat was interesting, could be a tad bit repetitive, and I think that basically just grinding through daily tasks until you reached a certain like respect level in each area was a little bit annoying. But each of the like boss fights was very challenging in the good way. Again, me being bad at combat is not a sign that this is a bad game. It's a sign that I have skills issues. So I really liked that. I liked that there were a lot of different areas that each felt unique and just its own place. I think that I could have spent more time exploring. Like, there's the fast travel system I never really unlocked, and there's, the different libraries and museums that I could have really dedicated time to getting every single piece and unlocking those equipments. There's the shops for aesthetic things that I never even touched. There's all of the construction material. I could have fixed up my house that I never did, or fixed up areas around town that I never did. So there's so much content, and I chose to just follow the straight linear path from beginning to end, check off all the required things. So that's on me. But I think that this is a really interesting game that someone who likes to be a completionist could have a lot of really fun things to do that doesn't necessarily just feel like attack a million sand crabs or, defeat the boss in 30 seconds or, that. So I think it was a good game. I think that I chose the most boring path. It was the most straightforward path. So with that, I'm going to give Garden Story a B. Oh, we're down to our last two games. So Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. This was the second game I played on my channel, and it was a re-release. I originally played Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance as a child with my siblings and my dad on PlayStation 2. So long time ago. It ages me a bit, to be sure. But I was really, really excited for the nostalgia factor and being able to do it on my own. And there, obviously, I played this 15, 20 years ago as a child. There's stuff that I forgot. So I was really excited to kind of relearn the game and like find the things that I had forgotten the first time around. And I had a ton of fun. It was a really long freaking game. but I really enjoyed it. I will say that for other people, it is probably a very simple game. It is incredibly linear. There's really no side quests. You go through each area from A to B, and that's the only path you have. So for some people, this might not be the most fun game. I find it really fun mostly because it is that nostalgic thing. It is bringing me back to my childhood when I used to play with my siblings. So maybe you don't like it as much. I know that Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 is a much larger game. There is a lot more to do. So maybe play this one in preparation for the bigger one, if that's your thing. Maybe. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do. You're your own person. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. I learned a lot. I did a lot of technical difficulties in this one, so it taught me a lot as a creator as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put Dark Alliance in the A tier. And last but not least, we have Astroneer, which was the first Gastronauts video series I started with my friend Hayden. This was definitely pushing me out of my comfort zone because I normally do not like playing survival sims. I do not like playing crafting games. Like, even Minecraft, I only ever played on creative mode because I didn't want to frickin' find all that stuff. And I think Astroneer, if you had asked me before the final episode that we posted, would have been like an S or an A tier. It was so cool. The planets were beautiful. It was challenging. We got to that middle, the core of the planet, and it was all sorts of wacky and like working in anti-gravity fields. And then we figured out how much fucking work it was going to take to get to all the other planets and get to all the other cores and unlock all of those so that we could unlock the one in space. And it just became overwhelming how little we had accomplished. And Hayden likes survival sims and likes crafting games and stuff. And even he was like, I don't really want to play this anymore. So if you're into those kinds of games, I think this is perfect. I think it's unique. I think that it's different. I think there's a lot of exciting things to do. But I think for me, who does not like this, and Hayden, who did not want to put in a lot of work, I didn't either. This had a very, very exciting start, and then it dropped off into like dread. Like, I don't want to log into this game. I don't want to put in hours of grinding and diving into the center of the earth to find the rare materials that are only available at like negative 54 on the y-axis or whatever. So a lot of fun up front. It becomes very very long game very quickly. So with that, I think I'm gonna throw Astroneer on the C tier as well, because it just wasn't for me. I had fun for the first couple, and then it just became a chore, and my games should never feel like chores. My games are to escape my chores. So yes, this is it. I think that I am happy with the game list as it is. I'm not going to make any changes. But most importantly, on top of just how much I've enjoyed each game, I have enjoyed spending the last year with you guys. I could have never imagined getting to this point a year ago. I started this just for shits and giggles, kind of as an excuse to say like, oh, I get to go play video games for an hour a couple days a week because I'm going to post it, and I'm trying to stay on a schedule so you guys can't get mad at me for dedicating this time. It was forcing myself to have me time by having this external thing keep me accountable. And it has turned into something so much cooler than that. It has turned into an amazing community, some kick-ass friends, being able to play with my friends who otherwise I just see on Instagram and we message every once in a while. It's gotten me onto Twitch, and now I'm an affiliate, and I make like chunk change a month, but I get to do it. So beyond just having some cool games to play, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who's watched my videos, given me a thumbs up, left me a comment, followed me on Instagram, kicked it over to Twitch to check me out during my live streams, whatever. You guys make this worth it. You guys make this possible. So thank you for the last year. And let's hope for some really kick-ass years in the future, because I'm ready to keep making videos and finding new games to play. So here's to one more, at least, if not many, many more.